Hey, Motorman here. Now let's say you've got a Sportster or any other mid-size bike or even a small 250 and you're looking to move up. You want something that will allow you to take a long ride or get away for a couple of days, but you don't want something like this. Maybe it's too big or too heavy, or maybe you've got an Ultra or a Goldwing and you're getting a little bit older. You want something that's easier to handle, lighter. This is the bike for you. Take a look. Hey, Motorman here, and I'm at Newport Richey Harley Davidson, and I'm going to take this Heritage for a little ride. This particular one happens to have the chrome motor and the optional laced wheels, or I like to call them spoke wheels. It's in crimson, and to me, my personal opinion is these bikes look really good with the lace wheels and the chrome motor versus the blacked out motor and the mag wheels. It's just, to me, it's called a Heritage. It should look like a Heritage, like the older Harley Davidsons. Of course, 114 motor, all the modern running gear, ABS is standard equipment. Price on this motorcycle is $23,000. That's MSRP plus the freight and the surcharge, which the surcharge I found out is because of the higher price of moving goods around, the freight. So yeah, $23,000, a lot of money. But nobody buys Harley Davidsons because they're cheap. And upon sitting on the motorcycle, it is low to the ground. I'm 5'7", though I identify as 6'2". I'm actually 5'7", 29-inch inseam, and completely flat-footed. Cruise control. And first thing I like to do when I take a motorcycle out is check on its low-speed maneuverability. And a good place to do it is here, since they have a rider's edge course. Very maneuverable, easy to handle motorcycle. In 2018, when they changed the Softail models, they increased the lean angle on these bikes. It used to be pretty bad. It was like 24, 25 degree lean angle. And I think they brought it up to 28, 29, which is a lot better. Doesn't seem like much, but believe me, it makes a big difference. So if you like to ride spiritedly, is that a word? Yeah, you got much more lean angle than you've had in the past. And of course, the 114 motor gives you a lot more power than what you had in the past. In fact, it's got more power than the Screaming Eagle versions of years gone by. A lot of people, when they're looking at Harley Davidson models, especially if they're they say on a Sportster or really any mid-size motorcycle, but they're not sure if they're ready for a bike like the Road King or a Street Glide, they'll check out this model, and it's a good thing to do, because of the heavyweight touring bikes that Harley makes now. They consider this a cruiser, and it is a cruiser, but it comes with bags, the windshield, so you could take this bike on any kind of long trip and it's perfectly comfortable. But it is definitely much lighter, about 100 to 125 pounds lighter than a Road King, and that's most often the other bike that people are looking for when they're, you know, in this price range. They said this is about $23,000. The Road King standard is right around the same price. However, ABS is standard on this bike and it's now optional on the Road King Standard. The Road King Standard has the 107 motor. This has got the 114. There are pluses and minuses to both of the models. The main minus with the Road King is that, yeah, it's heavier, but it rides smoother, and there's less vibration in the Road King than you'll find on this model. On my Road King or Electric Glide, virtually no vibration gets through to the handlebars, whereas you can feel low frequency vibrations through the handlebars on this bike, and a little bit on the seat. And that's because this is a balanced motor. It's not rubber mounted like the touring bikes. In fact, for one model year, I think it was 2019 or 2018, they put this bike in the touring class and then changed it back to the cruiser class. But like I said, it's versatile in that the seat's comfortable. You got two good sized bags. You can, of course, add a tour pack to this motorcycle, and that should be enough luggage to carry just about anything you want for probably at least a weekend, but maybe a week-long trip. And this bike just feels great. I mean, it handles beautifully. Anybody who hasn't ridden Harley Davidson in I don't know, 15 or 20 years, if you're still thinking they leak oil or they vibrate or they're unreliable, yeah, you haven't had a Harley Davidson in the last 20 years, and even longer, really. But, and I've said this before, and I know it for some reason it angers the haters in the comment section who, for whatever reason, come on to one of my YouTube reviews of Harley Davidson, and when I say this is a state-of-the-art cruiser, oh, they get epileptic. They go crazy. It is a state-of-the-art cruiser. It's not a sport bike. That's not what this bike is for. It's for cruising. It doesn't have a 4-cylinder 16-valve motor. This is a V-twin motorcycle, and it is state-of-the-art in V-twins, still air-cooled. And personally, I wouldn't have it any other way, but that may change because of EPA regulations. Hopefully it doesn't. But these are a bike for around town, for a long trip. You name it, you can do anything you want with this motorcycle. I like the bars that this bike comes with because they've got a lot of pullback. So if you're a taller person, you just adjust these 4 screws, loosen the 4 screws, push it forward, and you'll be stretched out. If you're a shorter rider, you could bring them back towards you for better leverage when stealing the motorcycle. Front brake on this bike, though it's a single disc, is quite powerful. I don't notice any difference as far as stopping ability with this over my Road King or Electric Glides. What I do notice though is the amount of pressure needed to use the rear brake is considerably more than on the touring bikes. It's that way on every Softail model I've ridden on my Lowrider S. Same thing, you got to put a little bit more pressure to get the same stopping amount that you'd get on the touring bikes. Quite a bit more, as a matter of fact. But if you've never ridden the touring models, you probably won't even notice that. Plenty of power. More power than you'll ever need. One of my pet peeves about the last couple of years with Harley Davidson bikes like this and the touring models is they no longer come with a heel shifter. I get so used to riding with a heel toe shifter that I find myself constantly looking for that heel shifter, and it's not there. it is available as an option, and that'd be the first thing I'd put on it. But if you're used to Sportster or any of the metric bikes, you're not going to miss that heel shifter at all. If it was on the bike, you probably wouldn't use it, and you might even take it off. And they're fairly inexpensive. I think they're under $100 if you want to add it to it. As far as ride quality on this motorcycle as compared to the touring bikes, I'd say it's pretty close. I'm not sure how much travels in the rear suspension on this bike, but it definitely feels adequate, and I'm at 200 pounds, no problem. In fact, it seems actually a little bit softer than my Electroglide, and I know the Electroglide has 3 inches of rear wheel travel. At least my police Electroglide does. The special models with the 12-inch rear shocks only have 2 inches of travel. Being this is a brand new bike, I'm trying really hard not to scrape those brand new floorboards. And even without scraping the boards, you could have plenty of fun on a winding road with this motorcycle. Turn in is immediate. Push forward on the bars. It leans and starts to turn immediately, no problem. Now, when I say that you get some vibration up through the grips and the seat, it's, like I said, low frequency vibration. It's nothing that's going to be putting your hands to sleep, and it's nothing like the old days. The Softail models in general give you a more visceral feel than the touring models because they're all rubber mounted. Plenty of lead angle to have fun with this bike. Right now, my local dealer here in Newport Richey, Harley Davidson, has got a really good stock of brand new motorcycles. Hasn't been that way all year. In fact, just lately. And the 2023 models will be out in, from what I understand, January 18th is the introduction for the newer models. So if you're looking for a new Harley Davidson and you don't care about the latest and the greatest models, which I know they're going to drop some of the models, but the first bikes you'll see at the dealership for 2023 will be what we call a carryover model. So maybe you could save a bunch of money by getting the 22. And as I said, right now they've got a wide variety of models and colors. And here in Florida, though you can ride all year, usually this time of year business slows down, and I guess they're going to want to move motorcycles, especially with the 2023s coming out. So maybe the perfect time to get into a new motorcycle. And for those people who say that Harley Davidsons are way overpriced, well, if you look at the equivalent Indian models, I think they call it the Chief, it's right around the same price. And the report from recently, I think it was Cycle World, did a comparison review on this bike and the Indian Chief, and they said, yeah, fit and finish is better on the Harley Davidsons, a little bit more power, and overall a better riding experience. As I've said over and over again, for those of you who say it's overpriced, well, you want the cheapest motorcycle, Well, there's plenty of them around. Honda just came out with a new motorcycle for 1,800 bucks. But if you want to have the ability to do some serious touring and you like the classic American style of Harley Davidsons, well, it's going to cost you more money.